Amazon Simple Queue Service (SQS) is a fully managed message queuing service that enables you to decouple and scale microservices, distributed systems, and serverless applications. SQS eliminates the complexity and overhead associated with managing and operating message-oriented middleware and empowers developers to focus on differentiating work. Using SQS, you can send, store, and receive messages between software components at any volume without losing messages or requiring other services to be available. Many companies use a queue service in their architecture design pattern, but to get full observability of the reliability of the queue's messages is not so obvious. This is why you should use dead letter queues. Dead letter queues are useful for debugging your application or messaging system because they let you isolate problematic messages to determine why their processing doesn't succeed. When should you use a dead letter queue? Use dead letter queues with standard queues. You should always take advantage of dead letter queues when your applications don't depend on ordering. Dead letter queues can help you troubleshoot incorrect message transmission operations. Even when you use dead letter queues, you should continue to monitor your queues and retry sending messages that fail for transient reasons. Use dead letter queues to decrease the number of messages and to reduce the possibility of exposing your system to poison pill messages. That means messages that can be received but cannot be processed. Don't use a dead letter queue with standard queues when you want to be able to keep retrying the transmission of a message indefinitely. For example, don't use a dead letter queue if your program must wait for a dependent process to become active or available. Also, don't use a dead letter queue with a FIFO queue if you don't want to break the exact order of messages or operations. For example, don't use a dead letter queue with instructions in an edit decision list (EDL) for a video editing suite, where changing the order of edits changes the context of subsequent edits. Amazon SQS does not create the dead letter queue automatically. You must first create the queue before using it as a dead letter queue. Now let's check if we have an SQS that doesn't have this feature enabled on our architecture. To check it, let's see the specific configuration that tells us that this is not enabled. As you can see on the right panel, when attribute name redrive policy is null, it's an indication that there is no dead letter queue configured for the selected Amazon SQS queue.